Afendi ji.
Chairman Sahab, I take an opportunity to speak on the motion of thanks of Governor address. The Governor Sahab talk about the promises and priorities of the Congress government, its action plan for various sectors of the economy and different sections of the society. The Governor Sahab terms the farmer as the soul of the state, and they constitute the core sector of the state economy and society. The farmer who are Annadata really deserve the people's gratitude on this achievement. I compliment the government for implementing the crop loan waiver scheme by waiving the loans of 25 lakhs for 35,000 farmers. Initially, the outlay on the farm loan waiver scheme was estimated of rupees 36,000 crores, and when the state budget for 2024-25 was presented in July 2024, the allocation of this scheme was rupees 26,000 crores. I would like the government to clarify on this issue, since there are reports that a few lakh farmers have been left out of the preview of this scheme. I may recall that the Congress government has promised to raise the assistance under Raitu Bharosa to rupees 15,000 per acre per year and extend this scheme to tenant farmer also. However, the assistance has been enhanced to only rupees 12,000 per acre, and the eligibility condition have been altered to restrict the number of the beneficiaries under this scheme. There is no mention of the tenant farmer in the Governor's sub-address, even as lakhs of tenant farmers holders are waiting for the assistance on par with the farmers. Under Indrama Astamaya Bharosa scheme, landless agriculture laborers are to be provided assistance of rupees 12,000 per annum, but there is no word on the timeline for implementation of this scheme. I may recall that the government had promised to provide new ration card for the all eligible families who are not currently covered under the public distribution system. Lakhs of families applied for the fresh card during the Prajapalana program held in December 2023 and January 2024. And in this year, many applications were invited for the eligible families. However, all these families are waiting for fresh ration cards for months, and there is still no clarity on the timeline for the issuing of new ration cards. Moreover, all the existing ration cards holder were promised to supply Sanna BM fine rice through the ration shop from Sankratri, but in the last 2 months, the promise to supply fine rice has not been taken up. Also, I may recall that the Telangana government has been lodging protest with the Krishna River Management Board and the Water Resources Ministry over the trouble of Krishna waters by Andhra Pradesh far in excess of its entitlement under the Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal Award. The Irrigation Minister, Janab Uttam Kumar Reddy Sahab, has gone on record stating that AP has consumed 75% of Krishna water, leaving Telangana with only 25%. I would like the government to clarify on this issue, since the peak summer ahead with a lower availability of water and lower availability of Krishna water for irrigation and drinking water supply to Hyderabad. Under Mahalakshmi scheme, women in the state have made about 150 crores free bus trips, resulting in saving of 5,006 crore in travel cost. This is a game changer scheme, no doubt, but I would like to know the amount disbursed to the TGRTC by the state government to compensate for the loss of revenue on account of free bus travel for women. Under Groha Jyoti scheme, the government has been providing free electricity for household consuming up to 200 unit, benefiting 50 lakhs poor families. As 1.33 crore domestic consumer in the state, almost 1 crore consumer have been using below 200 units per month. This means that the coverage under Groha Jyoti is confined to only 50% of the eligible beneficiaries. Similarly, the government has been providing subsidy LPG cylinders of rupees 500 to poor household, benefiting 43 lakhs families. I may point out that there are 90 lakhs existing ration card holder BPL families, and the coverage under the subsidy LPG supply scheme comes to less than 50% of the eligible families. The government has launched Indrama Mahila Shakti Mission with the ambitious target for creating 1 crore women self-employment with financial assistance of 1 lakh crore over the next 5 years. This scheme alone required annual budgetary support of rupees 20,000 crores. Moreover, the government has launched Rajiv Yogya Vikasam to provide financial assistance up to rupees 3 lakhs each to 5 lakhs unemployed youth for the self-employment initiative with a total outlay of 6,000 crores. I welcome the Rajiv Gandhi Abhiyastam scheme introduced by the government for providing financial assistance up to rupees 1 lakh each to civil service aspirant in the state. I would like to know how many youth have been covered under this scheme so far. In last August, government has announced the Telangana Job Calendar 2024-25 for filling up the vacancies across various departments and the state public sector undertaking of the government, covering the recruitment schedule from October 2024 to November 2025. Since assuming office, the Congress government has completed the process of recruitment of 55,000 youth in various government department and organization. I would request the government to announce the Telangana Job Calendar for 2025-26 before the budget session get over. The launch of Integrated Residential School Scheme for SC, ST, BC and minorities students is a welcoming step, but I wish the government to equally focus on all the existing residential schools for SC, ST, BC and minorities to improve their infrastructure, to house these schools in their own building and to provide the required teaching and non-teaching staff. The Finance Minister Sahab has announced that 11,000 crore have been sanctioned for the 55 integrated residential school, and I would like to know the allocation required for the existing SC, ST, BC and minorities residential school. The coverage ceiling under Arogyasri scheme has been raised to rupees 10 lakhs per family, and 163 new medical procedures have been added under the schemes, and there is need to enhance the allocation for the scheme to ensure that no single BPL family is denied proper medical care in the state. The Honorable Governor Sahab talked about the vision for Telangana future with the expansion of metro rail networks, Musi River project, and the development of the future city assured to redefine urban living and economical potentials. With regard to urban development, I would urge the government to enlighten us on the rationale for extending the Hyderabad urban to the outer ring road limit, for expanding the jurisdiction of Hyderabad Metropolitan Development Authority to the proposed regional ring road comprising 11 districts, 101 mandal and 1,355 revenue villages. The government also seen to extend the jurisdiction of the GHMC up to the outer ring road, and Honorable Chief Minister Sahab, who also hold the municipal administration portfolio, to clarify on this issue. With this, I conclude the speech and thanks the Honorable Chairman Sahab for giving me this opportunity.